Alright, I'm going to be showing how to get the minimalist achievements on the Ironclad. There's a couple ways to do it. I'm going to be using mostly speedrun strategies since I do or have started speedrunning this game recently. So at the beginning, to make it a lot easier, you can abandon run if you don't have the enemies have 1 HP. And then you can take the enemies that have 1 HP. You're mostly looking for ways to remove cards. There's a couple ways to do that. There's glitches using pandoras and box and stuff like that. I'm going to be showing a lot of, or I guess a few of the glitches that speedrunners use. So for here, there's a couple paths you can go. Question marks are good. Try and get as far as possible while still having your enemies have 1 HP. I guess this will also work as kind of like a speedrunning guide. So a few cards you're looking for: flexes, whirlwinds, stuff like that. Something to help you in the early fights, like Twin Strike is decent. Take that. Okay, first actual thing here. If you want to take a relic from certain things like this, or whatever it is that gives you a curse, if you are on PC, what you're going to do is you're going to take it, and then you're going to click on the next node, which is this question mark, as fast as possible. On controller, you're going to just spam X as soon as you pick up the relic. I use controller, so I'm not sure exactly if you have to press something in between picking up the relic for PC. If you are on controller there, if there was a path going right and there was a path going left, you're always going to be taking the right path. Unless you press left in between spamming X on certain objectives. I'll try and show that off later, but for the most part, when you get curses, you're just going to spam. And that's going to skip getting the curse. Remove's always super good. You can remove defense, whatever you want like that. I just remove defense because you're able to just attack, and it makes the fights a lot quicker. It is riskier though. So we're gonna do the skip again just to get that. Upgrade some couple cards here. Get a 1 HP elite, which is super nice. Vajra is always good. You can go a couple routes with like Clash and stuff like that. I guess we'll actually just pick up one for now. That's fine. Let's take this campfire and upgrade Bash. Vulnerable is super good in the early fights, especially because you're not trying to pick up cards. So it helps with the boss fights and stuff like that. You don't want to take any block cards because it's kind of useless to take block cards. I know there is a way to do it with, like, let's say if you get like Barricade, Entrench, and Body Slam. I know you can use a build like that. I've not been able to actually get that, so I'm just going to be showing you guys this way. First flex, super nice. We can take here and try to hit the shop. I guess we'll go to take Sadistic Nature. Kind of rough fight. I think it's worth it to play both of these actually, because hopefully we're just able to kill him next turn, which we are. Potions are super good in the first act, because since you're not picking up very many cards, it makes it a lot safer. We could take a second Clash here, which I think is fine to do actually. Get rid of another defend. Okay, so I'm going to show you another glitch here. It's not as useful, stuff like this, but let's say you're at one of these question marks areas. There's the one that branches off like this path does here. If you click on the right or left path with controller or PC, it doesn't really matter. And then as soon as you do that, you open the map, you see that little circle there. Once you open the map again, you have, I think it's 1/4 of a second to switch over to the other path. Click X. So now we're in this path. Let's say this was the 2 chest path. You are able to open this chest, touch the touchpad, and it'll switch you over to the other side. And just like before, you're able to spam here to skip getting the curse. Super nice. Yeah, I meant to hit the guy on the right, but that's fine. Just trying to kill people as fast as possible. You can play the fights mostly whatever way you want to. It's not really a big deal. Alright, coming up on the first boss, we got a couple good cards. Normally I would have basically nothing. Slime boss has a very good chance of dropping the Pandora's box, which hopefully if we get, I can show you a glitch that'll make it a lot easier to actually get the achievement, because with Pandora's box you're able to skip actually getting the cards. Okay, here, I think it's more beneficial to play these cards. Cool, good fight. Most of the time, you're not really taking any of these rare cards. Sometimes you can take something like I can't remember the name. It's the card that doubles your strength. Here we do not get the Pandora's box. Since we are hoping to look for Whirlwind, but we're not really going to get it, the best option here, no matter what, is going to be Slaver's Collar. There is a glitch that you could do where if you do get one of those pathways that has an elite, and on the left, you have a different branching path. Like you can see here, there's the elite, sorry, I can't really point at the screen, and there's an enemy to the left. So if we go to that area there, we can go to the elite fight and use that way I showed you guys to get 2 chests earlier, to actually go into the elite fight and then go into the enemy fight. So you don't actually fight the elite, but you keep the energy, so you'd have 4 energy, and that does stack as much as possible. Or as many times as you do it, sorry. So if you do it 3 times in this act, I'd have 6 energy. Class is super good for just bursting down in the early act, so it's kind of fun to use. I always pick it up, but if you do get fights where you have wounds and stuff like that, it makes it really hard. Alright, we got a Whirlwind. We'll go ahead and grab that. Whirlwind's pretty good for almost anything. It does help a lot with killing AoE, especially if you get a few flexes. It does quite a bit of damage. So here what we could do is actually play the Whirlwind. And then the Clash, we can go ahead and kill that guy. Drop that guy on the ground. Taking 10, that's fine. Just gonna go ahead and knock that guy down. Free kill. Kind of looking for another flex. You could take a second Whirlwind, but we do have a few cards already. So I'm not going to go ahead and take that. Like I said, looking for a lot of removes. You could duplicate. I think duplicating here is good. You can get a flex going, try and get rid of all our other cards that we've been stocking up. So here, more damage to... Actually, it's more damage to play the Twin Strike, but that's fine. And then just like I said, in the fights, kind of early, you can do pretty much whatever you'd like to take them down. More question marks? Okay, so there's another glitch with this area here. So we are trying to get rid of a lot of cards. We don't have a lot of our defends and stuff here, so we would like to get rid of our strikes. So what you can do with this here is you can do the spam X or just click to the next node here to actually skip the bites. But you do lose the max HP, so it does kind of suck there. But that makes it a lot easier to play your other cards. You do also want to get your Whirlwind upgrade as soon as possible. It does go up to 8 damage instead of 5. This fight is a little annoying when you don't have your full build ready yet. But now we can kind of show how Whirlwind works. You get your flexes going, it does quite a bit of damage, especially if you have more energy. Here I'm actually going to show you the 2 chests here. So we can take the Instance Burner, open up, boom, get the Singing Bowl. Same here. We're going to do the Slaver's Collar. So we go into the fight, we get that extra energy, so we have 4 energy. Open the touchpad, go to the next stage, and now we still have our 4 energy. So that makes playing your Whirlwind a lot better. So now we're doing 21 times 4. Take the max HP. Knowing Skull, you can kind of pick these if you feel like you need them. These potions aren't really helping a lot. I'm actually going to take a potion. Here we can go for a remove on that final defend. As you see, we have 7 cards. It's still risky, depending on certain bosses that you get. You could still die even when you're doing quite a bit of damage. But when you build certain builds like this, it makes actually killing the enemies a lot easier. So you're not really taking as much damage. We could take another flex. Let's see, if we were to get rid of most of our deck, we might keep the bash, keep the whirlwind, and both flexes. So we still would be able to fit another flex, but I'm going to go ahead and actually skip that. When you're going into boss fights like this, if you have the campfires here, let's say you wanted to upgrade, like right here, I would definitely like to upgrade my whirlwind. And then you needed to rest, you can rest, or you can just upgrade again. Since we have this potion, I'm not too worried about it. Kind of a bad draw, but that's fine. Here we get the whirlwind. We only get one flex. It is what it is. I'm actually gonna go use this potion. I can use the whirlwind. Kill the guys on the side so they don't take your good cards. This fight is a little scary. But as long as you have damage, you're pretty well off. Able to kill him pretty easily. Nothing here looks interesting. Could Kate take a calling bell? Calling bell's good. There is a way to skip the curse, so it does make it a lot easier. So normally it'd be better to take like something like the busted crown, since we're not really trying to gain more cards. However, if you do the calling bell, if you were to take it, open up here on controller right here, you would able to just spam proceed. I believe no, sorry, that would not work. Okay, so on PC, what you want to do here is you want to go open your settings menu. On controller, you just press options. You go to abandon run like this. On PC, you're going to press escape and escape. On controller, you're going to press options and circle. And that skips the curse completely. So that's pretty helpful. So now we're just mostly just trying to remove cards. We have 7. We can get rid of a few cards here. I think Twin Strike, probably Bash is pretty good to have, but against certain bosses, it's not that big of a deal. A Woken one, it is pretty good against, but it still might be better to get rid of maybe a Clash. So we're actually going to take this path here. Try and get to that shop. Here, when you actually draw the right cards, you're able to kill the enemies pretty easily. Grabbing that for the max HP. And when it comes to this build, it's actually way better to have only 5 cards in your hand, so you can play your whirlwind every time. See, there's not another shop, so I'm not sure how this run is going to go. Maybe you shouldn't have took the second Clash. Alright, Transient, super annoying. Not that big of a deal. When you're running all damage, it's pretty easy to fight him. He does take up a lot of time though, so it can be super annoying. In Act 3, if you're running something like the Clash, you want to skip basically every elite, because if you get one of the bad ones that had wounds in your hand and you're only running, like, let's say Clashes, then you're just dead. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't do damage. However, since we're still running Whirlwind, that's not that big of a deal. Taking 1 damage, that's fine. Alright, get another remove. Most likely getting rid of this Twin Strike. Not really any good potions. We'll just go ahead and upgrade a Clash. So we'll try and get a question mark here. Maybe we get something good. I can't remember if you're able to remove at any of the ones in Act 3. Fear Potion is super good. Don't really need the elixir. Falling, that's perfect. We lose one of the flexes, but it is what it is. Alright, gonna use the glitch here. Maybe we get something nice. Regular Pillow is good. Sundial is pretty good. Wheel of Change. Hopefully we don't get a curse. Not too sure if you can skip the curse with the spamming the X button. I'm just gonna go ahead and upgrade this last Clash. Let's see, we can actually go ahead and use Bash here. I think that's good to do. No matter what, we kill him next turn. Always drawing the same cards makes it a lot easier. We do miss out on a lot of damage from not having the other flex. Bottled lightning, sure. I think actually keep that potion. Alright, Whirlwind's pretty good against this guys here. Makes all of the normal fights pretty easy. Alright, Awoken one is kind of annoying. He does do a lot of damage. I'm actually going to use this potion right away. Save the weakness potion. Three HP, kind of annoying. Sundial proccing on this turn's pretty bad. I would have liked to kill him before it procs, so that this turn can go a lot better. Gonna use the weakness potion now. Same thing with this. Get a bash off. Should have played the flex first. Alright, one more turn should be good. There we go. I guess that also applies for Speed Climber. It's pretty easy to get Speed Climber when you're using speedrunning strats. But I hope this guide helped you. And yeah, that's it.